The wedding was still 10 days away, but my future daughter-in-law's entire family showed up at my door with suitcases, not for a visit, to stay in my house. I froze. Her mother walked right in like she owned the place. Her brother threw his shoes in the hallway, and her aunt asked, "Which room is ours?" My son whispered, "Mom, please don't make a scene." But I had already seen enough. They rearranged my kitchen, used my expensive dishes, and even told me, "We'll be living here until the wedding, and maybe after." That was it. That night, I calmly walked to my room, opened my laptop, and booked 3 hotel rooms in their name. Paid in advance. Non-refundable. Next morning, I handed them the printed reservations and said with a smile, "Your vacation starts now." They left shocked, embarrassed, silent. My son stared at me and I said, "My house, my rules, wedding or no wedding." When my daughter-in-law's family left for the hotel, I finally felt my home breathe again. But peace didn't last long. That evening, my son stormed into my room. "Mom, you embarrassed them. They think you don't want this marriage." I looked at him calmly. If they can't respect my home before the wedding, what will they do after? He fell silent. He knew I was right, but pride kept him angry. The next day, I heard my doorbell. I opened it and froze again. Her mother was back, but this time she came alone, and her attitude was completely different. She held her hands together and said softly, "I came to apologize. We assumed since you're the groom's mother, your home was open for us." We were wrong. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. She continued, "We want this marriage to start with respect, not tension." One thing was clear. She was not here to fight. She was here to fix things. But before I could respond, my son came from behind me and said something that shocked both of us. "Mom, you are right. If they stay, we need rules. Clear rules." The air changed. This wasn't just a small argument anymore. This was about taking control of the future. For the next 2 days, things seemed calm. Her family stayed at the hotel. My son stopped arguing, and I finally felt like the house was mine again. But that calm didn't last. On the 3rd evening, my future daughter-in-law came to visit. She looked nervous, almost scared. "Can we talk?" she said quietly. We sat in the living room, and after a long pause, she said something that shocked me more than anything before. My family wasn't planning to stay just for the wedding. They were planning to live here permanently after we got married. My heart dropped. She continued, "They told me not to say anything to you. They said once the wedding happens, you won't be able to refuse." Now, everything made sense. The early arrival, the suitcases, the attitude. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a plan. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. "I don't want this. I love your son. But I didn't agree to this. Please help me stop them." For the first time, I realized something. She wasn't the problem. She was trapped in her own family's expectations. I put my hand on hers and said, "Then we'll stop them. Together." But just then the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, her entire family was standing there again. And this time, they weren't smiling. When I opened the door, her whole family stood there, arms crossed, faces hard, suitcases behind them again. Her mother stepped forward. "Enough games. The wedding is in a week. We're moving in. This house is big enough for all of us." Before I could speak, my future daughter-in-law stood beside me and said, "No, you're not moving here." Her mother snapped, "Stay out of this. You don't understand how marriage works." But this time, she didn't stay quiet. She took a deep breath and said loudly, "I'm marrying him, not relocating our entire family." Her voice shook, but her courage didn't. Her father stepped forward, glaring. "We've already told our relatives we'll be living here. We can't back out now." That's when my son walked down the hallway and said the words that ended everything. "You should have asked me first. This is my mother's house, not yours, and you're not controlling our marriage." Silence. Her family looked stunned, then furious, then defeated. Her mother muttered, If that's how you want it, we won't come to the wedding. My son shrugged. That's your decision, not our loss. One by one, they turned around and left the house. The door closed behind them with a final thud. My daughter-in-law burst into tears. Not from sadness, but relief. She whispered, "Thank you for standing with me." I hugged her and said, "Welcome to the family. This house will always have room for you, just not for those who try to take it." The wedding day finally arrived. The house was calm. The air felt lighter. No shouting, no suitcases, no unwanted guests. Just peace. My daughter-in-law, now dressed as a bride, stood in front of the mirror, nervous but glowing. She looked at me and whispered, "I never thought I'd have a real family like this." I fixed her dupatta and said, "You chose respect over pressure. That makes you stronger than all of them." When we reached the wedding hall, people whispered, "Where is the bride's family? Why didn't they come?" My son held her hand and said gently, "You have us. That's enough." The ceremony began. Everything was beautiful. The lights, the flowers, the smiles. But the biggest moment came when the marriage was done. My daughter-in-law hugged me tightly and said, "You protected me when even my own family didn't." I promise I'll always protect this home and this family. Tears filled my eyes. At that moment, I realized family isn't made by blood. It's made by loyalty, love, and courage. As we walked out for photos, my son whispered, "Mom, thank you. You didn't just save our marriage. You saved her." And for the first time in weeks, I felt truly proud. The wedding ended not with drama, but with peace, unity, and the start of a new, stronger family. A week after the wedding, my son and his new wife came to visit. They looked happy, peaceful, finally free. We sat together sipping tea, laughing about old memories. No tension, no drama, no suitcases in the hallway, just family. Then my daughter-in-law said something that touched my heart. "I used to think a wedding joins two families, but sometimes it teaches you who your real family is." My son nodded. "And Mom, whatever happened, it only made us stronger." I smiled. Their journey had been difficult, but in the end, respect won. Love won. Family won. As they were leaving, my daughter-in-law hugged me tightly and whispered, "This home will always be safe with me. Thank you for giving me a place where I truly belong." And that was the perfect ending. A new beginning, a new family. No more drama, just trust. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means everything.